On the 2nd of June at around 3:10 p.m., I attended a small gathering comprising of about 25 persons. The gathering was organized by the Eastern Boys Sports Club at the Maradangani public playground. The gathering was held under a tree and no loudspeakers or similar devices to amplify sound was used, as the gathering was merely to serve the constituents of my capacity as a Member of Parliament and not a propaganda meeting. Within about 10 minutes of the gathering commencing, two individuals arrived at the event on a motorbike. They parked near the tree we were gathered under. After they alighted from the motorbike, they stood behind where I was seated without joining the gathering. At this point, since I, as a matter of policy, have not taken any personal security from the Ministerial Security Division or the police in general, my research officer approached the two individuals and inquired as to what their purpose was. Since the two individuals had not given a satisfactory answer, and since my research officer suspected one individual of having a possible concealed weapon, he requested the two to establish their identity if they were to continue to remain in the vicinity of a non-public meeting. At this point, both individuals initially refused to produce any form of identification, but instead stated that they were police intelligence officers. When I overheard this, I approached the two individuals stating that I was a Member of Parliament and that I would like to see their official identity documents to satisfy myself that they in fact were who they claimed to be. The two individuals not only refused to do so, but went further to state that there was no need for them to produce any identification, and that if I wished to confirm their identity, that I should come to the police station. They also accused me of taking part in an unlawful meeting. Once the allegation of unlawful meeting was made, I began to insist on seeing their official identity documents, failing which I would be forced to take action against them. At this point, one individual attempted to make a getaway. I tried to stop him by reaching out to him when he assaulted me and began running away. By this time, the second individual had been surrounded by other members of the gathering who were insisting on him providing his identity documents of being a police officer. The individual instead began calling out to the police officers from a school that adjoins the playground. He was specifically calling out to police officers who presumably were stationed there, at which point two individuals appeared from one of the buildings of the adjoining school. One individual was in police uniform carrying an automatic rifle, and the other individual was wearing what seemed like a blue-colored sports attire. Whilst I was walking back towards the individual who had been surrounded by the members of the gathering, after pursuing the individual who ran away, the person in the school compound wearing the sports kit began rudely shouting, saying that the unidentified individuals who had come on the motorbike were in fact police officers, and ordered the gathering to let the individuals go. At this point, I asked the person in the sports kit as to who he was and to confirm his identity, and instead if not, mind his own business, as he had no authority to get involved in what was happening in the playground. The person then began to swear at me, at which point I walked away towards the individual who the members of the gathering had managed to surround. At this point, several members of the gathering began alerting me simultaneously that the person in the school compound wearing a sports kit had drawn a pistol and had proceeded to load it and was aiming it in my direction. There was some commotion for a few minutes, at which point a police vehicle began to enter the playground. A uniformed officer alighted from the vehicle and immediately began to shout out, saying that the persons who had come on the motorbike were police officers and that we had no business restraining them, and ordered us to let them go. I then approached the officer in uniform, who subsequently identified himself as S.I. Jayatissa, acting OIC of the Mardangani Police. I then proceeded to explain to the SI the events that had transpired. The SI then proceeded to order the surrounded individual to show his police ID. The SI thereafter apologized to me and asked me to forget the matter. I refused to do so and pointed out that not only were my rights violated, but also officers had breached my parliamentary privileges and had committed parliamentary privileges had been committed by the Mardangani police. I also told him that I wished to also know the identity of the individual who had run away and the individual in the school compound wearing the sports kit, as they had committed offences against me and the others, where one had assaulted me and the other had aimed a loaded gun at me. The SI then stated that the individual wearing the sports kit had nothing to do with the incident. When I insisted on knowing his identity, the SI asked me to come to the Mardangani police and to make the statement there. I then declined to go to the Mardangani police station, as members of the station had committed major offences against me that included pointing a loaded gun. I told the SI that I am prepared to make any statement immediately on the spot, but not at the Mardangani police. I stated this as I feel a threat to my life by the Mardangani police, who have been acting in a hostile, life-threatening way. The SI then left the premises. Subsequently, at 3:30 p.m. on the 5th of June, the OIC Mardangani contacted me requesting my cooperation in recording a statement regarding the June 2nd incident. I informed the OIC that I was on the way to Colombo to attend Parliament sessions and that I will be returning to Jaffna on the 12th of June and that I will make the statement on the 12th afternoon or any date convenient thereafter. The OIC also informed me that the Speaker, Honourable Speaker, you had been informed. I thereafter promptly called you, but was informed by a recorded message that you were abroad. I still pursued staying online as I needed to speak to you urgently. I tried several times, but as there was no answer, I left a WhatsApp message. I then called the Deputy Speaker, who is present here, who promptly answered the phone. I told him that the Mardangani police wished to record a statement from me, at which point he confirmed that someone from the police had called him requesting the same. I then explained to the Deputy Speaker of the need for me to attend Parliament and asked him if the police can be informed that I will make the statement after the 12th of June. The Deputy Speaker immediately agreed, saying since it's merely a statement, he sees no reason why I should not attend Parliament and make the statement thereafter. I thereafter contacted the Mardangani OIC and explained what the Deputy Speaker had informed me, and the OIC seemed satisfied. He also did say that he would like to record the statement and close this matter up as soon as possible, at which point I assured him that I would make the statement as soon as I returned to Jaffna on the 12th of June. Despite these assurances on my part, the Mardangani police, through the Kolpiti police, attempted to serve me a written message on the 6th of June around 1 p.m. requesting me to produce myself on the 8th of June at 10 a.m. at the Mardangani police station to record a statement regarding the said incident. Since the written message was in Sinhala, and since I cannot read Sinhala, I refused to accept the note. The police officers then said that all they were asked to do was to convey the message, and that since they had done so verbally, that would suffice. They left my residence thereafter. I then proceeded to prepare a written request to you, Mr. Speaker, regarding a breach of my parliamentary privileges, which I handed over to the Secretary General personally on the 6th at around 5 p.m. since the Speaker's office was locked up by then. I was to make the statement in the House on the 7th June morning, that is yesterday. I also handed over a handwritten letter addressed to you requesting that you inform police. I will make myself available to record a statement on the 12th of June or soon after. Subsequently, at around 8:30 p.m. on the 6th of June, the Kolpiti police arrived at my Colombo residence with the earlier written message and a Tamil and English translation of which again which again stated that I should make myself available at the Maradangani police at 10 a.m. on the 8th of June. Whilst this be the case, on the 7th June morning at around 6:30, the Jayapuram OIC turned up at my residence stating that he had to arrest and take me to record a statement to the Maradangani police. I then informed him that I had informed the Maradangani OIC that I have got the consent of the Deputy Speaker to make the statement on the 12th of June, and anyway that it was only last night, that is the 6th of June, at 8:30 p.m. that the Maradangani police itself served me a written message requesting me to in fact produce myself on the 8th of June at 10 a.m. I asked him why the sudden hurry to arrest me despite the police itself wanting me to make the statement on the 8th of June. The Jayapuram OIC had no reply except to say that these were his orders. I promptly contacted you, Mr. Speaker, and explained the situation and requested that you inform the police that the statement can be recorded on the 12th June, and you agreed to do so. However, after about 15 minutes, the police again wanted to arrest me and take me to Maradangani. I again contacted you, Mr. Speaker, and informed you of the situation. You then informed me that if there was an arrest warrant, you would not like to prevent them from taking me. But if not, you said that the police cannot prevent me from attending Parliament, especially in the context that I was to make a breach of privilege statement scheduled for the 7th morning. You also told me that if they were adamant that they should allow me to attend Parliament today, to make, that is yesterday, to make the breach of privilege statement and thereafter take me to Maradangani. I asked you to kindly inform the IGP of your stand on this matter. Despite this, once I hung up the phone, the police insisted on arresting me. I then asked that the arrest warrant be produced, to which they replied they have none, as there was no warrant. I then asked them to provide me with a receipt of arrest so that my family have a record of my arrest. That too was not given. Instead, I was illegally arrested and taken away. A receipt of arrest was subsequently handed over to me personally at the Kolpiti police. I told the police that there is no point in handing it to me. This should be handed to my family or someone at my home who will have proof of my arrest if my whereabouts became unknown. However, the police refused to hand it over to my house. I was subsequently taken to the Kilnuchi police station where my statement was recorded and then produced before the Kilnuchi magistrate, who then enlarged me on bail and withdrew the foreign travel ban that had been issued on me. Mr. Speaker, whilst this is what actually transpired, the police headquarters spokesman, who is also an attorney at law, has been making several false statements to the media regarding the incident. All these statements have been made as the official position of the police inquiry, whilst till yesterday my statement regarding the incident had not even been obtained. Several Sinhala and English media have unquestioningly accepted the police's version of events, despite the police being a party to the 2nd of June incident, and have published many news items that are blatantly false or thoroughly misleading at the very least. One paper in particular, the Divina, ran a lead story on the 7th June saying I had gone into hiding. Mr. Speaker, even when my father was assassinated by the state, I or my family didn't run. Even when at the height of the war, when white van abductions were rampant and extrajudicial killings were taking place against Tamils, I didn't run away. Now, when the police has completely exposed themselves for what they are, an institution completely corrupt that unleashes state terror on the Tamil people, and in my case have completely acted illegally and partially, I'm hardly going to run away. It is in fact in my and my people's interest to expose everything for what it is. Considering that it is ultimately the police department itself that has to investigate this incident, which also consists of possible crimes committed by one of its own police station members, the fact that the police department has already drawn adverse conclusions against me means that my rights have been violated by the entire department, and it has thereby lost its credibility to investigate this matter in a just and impartial manner pertaining to me and the other individuals associated with me whose rights have been violated. Accordingly, Mr. Speaker, I ask you to take all measures that you deem fit to safeguard my rights and privileges. Thank you.
Thank you.
The News Reporter. වාරණයෙන් තොර අපක්ෂපාතී වාර්තාකරණය.